Brought to you by Grow Generation. Today's episode of the Cantina is: whether on Dagobah or Tatooine you are, everything you need to grow right where you are, they have. Later in the episode, more on them you will hear.
Welcome to a galaxy far, far away. Here at the Cantina Podcast, we provide top shelf service, including rumors, leaks, news, and reviews. Come in, order a Loman Ale, and remember, no droids allowed. Yes, guys, that's correct. It's the Cantina. Well, welcome back. I am Kyle Malone, joined as usually by Cam Clark over there across the pond. And we are here on the GenreVerse podcast network and on the GenreVerse YouTube channel. Please hit follow or subscribe, whatever you're watching or listening to us on. We appreciate it so much, everyone that is following and subscribed and listens, watches all the great shows. We're underneath the big LRM umbrella, so check out lrmonline.com every day for all of your entertainment news needs and opinions. And yeah, Cam, I think that does it for an intro. Yeah. We missed last week, man.
Last week.
Yeah. Life kind of got in the way.
Yeah. Buses were crashing and we weren't on the same ones.
Yeah, no.
Kind
of. I think it's been a while since we just had a complete, like, I don't want to call us a cast because we're not, but a complete crew.
Yeah,
breakdown.
There was no one in the crew of the Falcon who could fly the ship that night, unless
no one.
just on our own, which,
yeah,
could work.
I know when we were looking at trying to do an alternate day, you had some soccer, some football going on.
Yeah,
don't you also play rugby every now and then too?
I did when I was a kid, very short time at school, but that was never my game. You're not built like me and play rugby. That's not a rugby build,
Well, no, I meant like
I'd get
fun.
hot. I'd get hot. I was quick. That was always my greatest strength. But doesn't matter how quick you are in rugby, someone will still hit you. So no.
Yeah,
as a kid, yeah, but no.
Cool. So Star Wars news over the last couple of weeks has been trickling in. Some cool stuff, but we all know there's a huge event coming up in a couple of weeks.
I feel it's almost like the deep breath before the plunge of information that we're in just now.
Exactly. And of course, we're talking Star Wars Celebration coming to us on starts on the 26th, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, starts on the 26th. Runs for the weekend there in Anaheim. A lot of people are super excited about it. And they've started announcing panels and things like that. And so this whole first segment of the show, basically, we're going to kind of bounce back and forth between things that have been announced, things that Shockey, Mike, has written on, things that he expects to see, might be hearing that he, something. We'll cover stuff like that. And some Andor Kenobi stuff, and then we'll move into a little bit more Kenobi stuff a little bit later after the word from our sponsor. So Celebration, man, 26. What do we know is coming up in Celebration, the showcase?
Well, I mean, we kind of know that they're going to show the first two episodes, the Obi-Wan Kenobi, and I'll tell you why we know that, because there's been there was a couple of tweets that came out when we had heard that Obi-Wan was being delayed by a couple of days. That's all it is, delayed by a couple of days until kind of post-Celebration. And then we were getting a double episode first drop that a few people were tweeting, but, be great to see it at Star Wars Celebration, stuff like that. And then those tweets mysteriously disappeared, etc., etc. So we kind of think that they're going to maybe screen, I don't know whether 2 episodes, but maybe the first episode, at least, the Obi-Wan Kenobi at it. I guess other than that, we don't know anything, other than what was in the most recent statement about their showcase. I can read that out if you've got it up on screen.
I got the tweet from Celebration that says live action filmmakers joined by some special guests for stuff including Obi-Wan Andor and the Mandalorian.
Yeah, it specifically says to discuss Star Wars adventures coming soon, including Obi-Wan Kenobi and or Mandalorian. The wording of that would imply, and this is the fan thEory, that means there is more to learn about or hear about than these shows. That's kind of what we're thinking. In terms of what we think we might see, my top tip would be that we're going to find out more official information about Grammar Rodeo, because that is going to be filming very soon, and it doesn't just not exist. There's too much information out there from too many sources, including ourselves, and we pretty much know this is a High Republic show, and apparently it is a Mr. Jon Favreau who is going to be producing that, or executive producer on it, and we don't know kind of much else, but I am expecting. There certainly won't be trailers or anything because they haven't started filming it yet, of course, though. But I'm expecting maybe a title and an actual announcement this officially exists in some sort of kind of form. I don't think we'll get release dates or anything for it, but I think we'll get a title and a something that announces that it's coming.
Did I miss that? Favreau is EP on the High Republic thing?
I will let me. Where I had read that somewhere recently, and I am going to try and find that information for you.
Yeah, I'm not saying that it's wrong. I just had it.
What do you expect other than that? Because it really is just opinions at this point. It's not like my opinion is more valid than yours. I mean, it is, but I won't admit that.
Bestman Bulletin on March 24th seems to have said something about it.
There you go. That's probably where I've picked that up 100%.
Yeah, that Jon Favreau was on board. Let me bring this up real quick before I give you my thoughts.
There's another little rumour's been kicking about that we haven't covered because it doesn't come from a very good source
Other
to do with
review.
Grammar Rodeo. And
that
there was a kind of one of these anonymous posting sites where anybody can post sort of film news and media news. Someone said that Jude Law had been cast as the adult role in Grammar Rodeo, but there's no source to hang your hat on that we can say, oh yeah, they've got a good record. You can't say the site itself is a good record because it's an anonymous posting site. So one post, like 4chan, is always get the plot of every movie on it, but you'll have to find it between 200 wrong plots, that are on there, and that's what makes it a difficult process. So whether that's true or not, I don't know, but certainly there's a lot of other outlets have covered that as news and just kind of putting it out there. Didn't cover it as a story for the site, but it's worth mentioning that it's a possibility.
Yeah. So some of the things that I mean, I agree with most of your takes on what we're gonna likely see. So, but I agree that there might not be that. I agree on a formal announcement of what Grammar Rodeo is and the potential of cast. I don't know. Maybe one or two names.
I don't think so.
But
I think it's
doubtful.
Maybe too early for that.
As far as title, I mean, you would think that it would be titled if they announce it officially, but they could just say it's a High Republic, property.
Yeah, they could.
But I think a title is likely if they announce
unless
it.
They don't. Well, we're not sure what to call it yet, But everything else they announce officially tends to have a title attached already.
Right.
Whereas Marvel don't always do that. They can say untitled thing that's coming out.
And then the other thing that I think is potential. Maybe maybe something with the Acolyte. I don't, nothing big. They haven't filmed anything, so I'm thinking if anything.
Doesn't start till May, does it?
Or right, I'm thinking, and we could talk about that maybe at the maybe later.
Like that. You don't know.
Maybe a cast announcement. I don't think we will get any story or anything except if they do some cast, it'll be like so and so playing so and so, a dangerous person on the run, that type of details at because
we kind of know some casting things that have happened for that show anyway, or at least front runners for some roles, so you never know, you could be right. Another one we might get some casting news for is Ahsoka. Again, there's been a few unofficial kind of but solid details on Ahsoka casting, and then the kind of big ones, if you like, that we revealed, which I don't think I suspect we've always said that they'll keep this a surprise because but I don't see them announcing Mina or Lars for Ahsoka.
No. If they were going to announce either or, if they were going to announce either or, I would put money on Mena Messiah. I think he would get named before Thrawn Mikkelsen would. I think. What do you think? Not that we're not saying it's likely. I don't think it's likely either. But if they were,
if you name them both in the show, then if part of the show is Ahsoka's quest for Ezra and Thrawn, it kind of gives you too much information, that's not Filoni and Favreau's style. They don't do that. You know, if we look at some of the things that have happened in Boba Fett or Mandalorian, some of the cameos and that, they really just don't give you that much information.
But these won't be cameos, so.
But it might.
Well, we assume
they might not turn up till like episode 6 or episode 8. They could literally be just cameos that come in at the end for that, like, you know, and then
because there's the whole crossover
where we'll see
Mando,
more of them.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't even know for a fact. Although we know, or we've been told by our sources they've been cast, we've never actually been 100% told they've been cast for Ahsoka. But why would you cast people this early for a show that's not even happening yet, you know, or for some future event? It doesn't kind of seem to make sense. So we kind of think it's for Ahsoka, as far as I know, anyway, unless, you know, obviously we don't speak to the source directly. So might correct me on that and say, no, it's for Ahsoka, but I don't think we ever actually kind of put that out in the initial report.
Cool. Speaking of Shockey, let's take a look at a few of the things that he mentioned. Now he wrote this back on the 29th of March. 5 things to expect. He says it would make sense for a Obi-Wan panel. I agree. He says McGregor and Christensen would make sense. This is not Mike saying these things are
this
happening.
Is what he thinks is going to happen.
Right, and I can see the logic.
Yeah.
I can see the logic in that easily. Yeah. A panel for certain, and you start thinking about Deborah Chow.
I don't know. I would assume it's. I just assume it's Chow. I've never heard it spoken out loud, so I've never seen it written.
I've got another actress director last name of Cho in my mind, and I know it's not them. The Deborah was more of the name I was concerned about.
This could be ignorance from my point of view. Would be Cho would be CHO and Chow would be CHOW, but that's what English in my head, you know.
Right, like I said, I had one stuck in my mind, and it was like, I know it's Deb. Anyways,
I get you. Yeah.
So I think she's a potential as well. I don't know, man. That seems like especially with the idea of Kenobi screaming, it kind of makes sense that they'd have a panel before or after, you know?
Yeah.
So
okay.
I think
the show's out. if they out and they're talking interviews, what did Hayden Christensen say about this? A website like us is going to produce a lot of content out of that. So it just makes great marketing sense from their point of view to do something like that.
Exactly. My thoughts as well. The next thing Shockey wrote about, and lo and behold, some stuff comes out a little bit later, an Andor trailer. And that, like I said, he wrote that on the 29th, and then you wrote on a Barside Buzz about Andor trailer being rumored via Bespin Bulletin.
And I think prior to them producing that, my guess would have been that we were going to see an Andor trailer, because it's the next thing that comes after Obi-Wan Kenobi, and it's too late for a trailer for Obi-Wan at that point, because the show is right there. There's no time for trailers left, if that makes sense. But an Andor trailer would make sense to me. As I understand it, the ability to make a trailer out of Andor has been there for some time and just not used. So I would have guessed it but not expected it. But now with Bespin saying that, but they do stress it's only one source that's given it. And, when we do this kind of stuff, we like to try and, if we get a story, and most websites that work like this, they want to be accurate. They won't just go by what one source says. They then try and verify that information from someone else. And if you can get a crossover, that's a good rumour. We do that. A lot of people do that. This is something that they stress, was just from one source. But I kind of get the feeling they do get good information. And it just kind of makes sense to me. So at this point, I would be surprised at the crap marketing skills of Lucasfilm if they don't do it. But then I have been surprised by the crap marketing skills of Lucasfilm before. So I rule out nothing when it comes to them.
Yeah.
If it was Marvel, they'd just show it.
Yeah. One of the next things they talk about, Shockey talks about, sneak peek for Mando and Ahsoka. Mando kind of just wrapped up shooting, which we can talk about after the ads. So I could see a sizzle reel type thing.
Yeah, but not for Ahsoka.
Not for Ahsoka.
Just starting now, then I don't see that being possible yet. Unless it's a BTS thing, like where they,
right, kind of like Andor.
Shows, though, well, Andor they did, but. We kind of thought we might get that last year kind of like thing for Obi-Wan Kenobi or much earlier for Obi-Wan Kenobi, and then that didn't happen, and you were like, it seemed like they should have done that because it was a missed opportunity to give away absolutely nothing except what we already knew. Hayden and Ewan were together. You and I said it. They should have had them videoed when they met each other and said hello and all that, and the fans would have just went crazy for that, and it gives nothing away. So they could do something like that for Ahsoka, and if anybody's watching this from Lucasfilm, that's the kind of shit you kind of really need to start doing, because you're not that good at the marketing at the moment. I have to be honest.
And Star Wars no longer just markets itself. I'm sorry. Book of Boba Fett proved that. Just overall, it's never good. I think the quality of Mando helped it over that. But even Mando marketing wasn't fantastic. No,
I know they want to keep the secrets and they don't want to give too much away. But that's about being smart with it. You can still do that and still market the show a little bit better by giving a bit more information. Some more stills. They've actually been much better with Obi-Wan Kenobi so far for me. But then we know a lot more about Obi-Wan Kenobi going in as well. So
yeah, the only thing where I think you might get some additional Ahsoka. She did film shit for Book of Boba Fett. What would it have taken to be like, you know what? Hey, bring up that one planet she's gonna be on the volume real quick. Let's do that meditation scene.
Yeah, I mean,
it's the fact that they can do shit like that.
You're right. That would be like, an extra 20 minutes set up for them or one day shooting if she's already in costume anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
So they could do something like that.
A sizzle reel type deal, maybe even at most like a 30-second teaser shot, not a teaser trailer, but like a teaser shot of footage or something at most for Mando. Sizzle reel being really likely.
I don't think we'll get a sizzle reel for Mando or Ahsoka. I'll have to be honest.
You don't think anything for Mando at all?
I think they'll talk about it. I think they'll talk about what's coming up. Mandalorian season 3. I don't think they need to overmarket that one because it's already a success. So I think they might tease a few things. They'll have like exec producers maybe talking about it, maybe some stars talking about it. I could see them doing that, but not actually really show anything for it. And similar with Ahsoka, I could see them trotting out Rosario Dawson and maybe somebody else and saying, "Hey, this is who's playing Sabine Wren. What was it like to step into this great?" And that kind of thing I could see them doing. But I'm just. Whenever we've been in this situation before, Kel, you know yourself, whenever there's an event coming up and we get hyped for it, Lucasfilm let us down every single time.
Always. I agree with you on the Ahsoka. It's possible, but series. Unlikely.
I think we could maybe get some news on Lando because we just recently found out Donald Glover is going to be starring in that show. And he kind of said, I was kind of wanting this to come out later kind of thing. But, I don't think, again, it's not been filming. There's no signs of when it will film. But I think they might, I don't know, just something small to say it's still there. Because people have been wondering, is this show even still happening? So I think they might do something to reiterate it's still happening and we're still getting Lando at some point without giving us specific dates or anything.
Yeah, and that's one of the other things Mike had on here was projects in production. He does drop a name like Lando. He also mentioned Acolyte like you and I did earlier in the show. Rogue Squadron and a droid story, the animated thing for the droids.
Yeah, I was thinking more live action, but I mean we could get something on Bad Batch season 2 as well if we're talking animated. Yep. But I think that wouldn't be on the showcase day because that's seems to be focused on live action. So maybe they'll have another day dedicated to animated. Maybe this was Visions or something like that as well.
Yeah, I would love another Vision. Yeah. This was Shockey's whole day, not just the showcase. Yeah. And then before we take the break, the other thing he mentioned as potential would be a Jedi Fallen Order 2 trailer. I could see like a cinematic trailer. I don't think maybe. And it all depends on how much overhaul on engine and models and stuff that they're gonna do from the first game, on whether or not you could get some in-game stuff. But cinematic is for a video game.
Easy. They can pump them out for most games long before the game's anywhere near ready. So
even games that might just get canceled. Eclipse. No, that's not me sneezing as in we know anything.
You think that wouldn't happen?
I think that there's a good chance that it might change studio. It might change studios. It might be years.
Struggling to hire people for it, aren't they?
So, but they released a cinematic for it. Hey, so that's a potential. What do you think? You think anything from the game side coming up?
I think there will be something. I think there'll be something. I don't know which one we'll get because I'm not that au fait with how far along these projects are. Definitely one I don't think we'll see unless it's just the clip we've already seen as Eclipse, because I think that's all they've got in that game at the moment. I would guess that and this is just a guess, that Fallen Order may be the furthest along, and it might not be called Fallen Order 2, it might be called Jedi. I think Jedi is the actual kind of franchise title, so it might be Jedi Electric Boogaloo 2 for all I know. Which would probably please the fans actually. I don't like numerical titles outside of like
kids stuff or retro. Like it's got to there's a very specific time that numerical sequels work, and I don't care for them though. And I know it's a thing in Star Wars, but they have a subtitle to go with
episode,
them.
Yeah.
So
Marvel does it though, but they don't tend to do it now. They did do it though.
They only did it with the Iron Man movies. That's it. Only the Iron Man movies have numerical sequels. Yeah. It's annoying because they should have gone back and renamed Iron Man 2. God, I used to have a good name. I used to have a good name for it, but the last one would have been Armor Wars. But of course, they're doing that with the the third one would have been Extremis. Sorry, would have just been Extremis.
Extremis. Yeah.
What was I gonna name this set? I had a really good title for the second one a long time ago, and I can't remember it now. But the third one should have been Extremis. Get rid of the numbers. But you know what? Numbers we're not getting rid of the numbers that pay the bills from the advertiser. So yeah, GrowGen.
Grow Generation, where the pros go to grow. From propagation to harvest, they have everything you need for your special garden. Grow Generation serves customers across the nation and carries a wide inventory of renowned cultivation brands. Go to www.growgeneration.com, where the pros go to grow.
I could see myself walking across that causeway. You would catch a nice breeze along that causeway. Oh, the things my brain comes up with. I was complimenting my segue, and the only word that I could get out of my mouth was causeway. But anyways, thanks Grow Generation. Everyone, be sure to check them out for all your homegrown needs. You know, small, medium, large, whatever. Cam.
Yeah.
We let me post credit scenes, right? So
right, okay, we're going there. Yep.
The post credit scenes are something that were a bit of a rarity once upon a time before Kevin Feige's MCU, right? They happen. Those stingers happen. Yeah. You know.
Well, it depends. You know how far back you want to go, because that all came from like the 50s serials. You know. Yeah. So.
Well, I just meant modern film. It's a bit of a rarity, but before that, you have a few things from some of the other comic book properties.
Made it,
right?
Yeah.
But it wasn't something we had ever seen in Star Wars until Mandalorian. That's the first post-credit scene that I can remember, at least live action.
What post-credit scene did we have in The Mandalorian? I've forgotten this.
Season 2, the Book of Boba Fett teaser. Didn't that come after the credit?
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that is
I think that's the first. I think that's the first ever.
Stinger. Yeah. Oh, you're right.
So spoiler warning, everyone. Potential spoiler warning. Real good. What's that?
Major spoilers, I wouldn't.
Not a major one, but a real good likely that this is indeed a spoiler. So if you don't want to know, but it's not that big of a deal. Obi-Wan Kenobi to have a post credits sequence, man, in an episode, not a season. Yeah, an episode.
But it kind of makes sense when you think about it, doesn't it?
Yeah, but how do you feel about it becoming a thing?
I don't think it will become a thing in Star Wars other than maybe tease. I think with the Mandoverse, it could.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, Boba Fett didn't need to have one because, Mando's coming next, and they kind of...
Boba Fett did have a post-credit scene.
2.5.
They had Timothy Oliphant's character getting healed up by
my brain's obviously went
cybernetic
people. Some of this. Okay, yeah, they did.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. It's becoming a thing now.
I'm okay with it because we're in this Saturday serial thing now, where and these are all connected. Like the Marvel universe, the Mandoverse is all connected. They all happen in the same timeline. But for example, I would not expect to see a post-credit scene at the end of Obi-Wan Kenobi. right?
Yeah.
Like when at the end of the fifth final episode.
God, I hope not. I hope not.
To me.
I hope not. Please, Lord, no.
What we have heard through MSW is that, and even in a lot of maybe too much for us, but hey, that's up to them. In terms of the leaks for Obi-Wan Kenobi at the moment, and they're saying that they've heard that there's a post-credit scene at the end of episode 2. And one of their previous reports that we did cover was that Darth Vader doesn't show up until episode 3 of the show. And these two things seem to link together. I don't want to get into maybe the story angle of this, but let's just say that the things that happen at the end of episode 2 would make sense for you to get a very quick post-credit scene of Vader, which is apparently what it is, Christensen in in a back to tank, so we see his face, but it's all scarred to shit, and sort of with his eyes closed, and he opens his eyes because there's a disturbance in the Force that is kind of drawn his attention. I won't go into what's there before that in case people don't want to know. I could totally see that happening, and then boom, he's introduced in episode 3 as an actual character from that point on, because it's like Vader's back, bitch,
Yeah. My only and when you kind of put it in the context of the series over things like the movies or what we hope is a limited thing with Kenobi, I get it, but it's just one of those other things to me that feels like you're taking Star Wars from its pure place, its timelessness, it's becoming more modern. And
let me
I don't know if it's a good or bad thing yet, but it's weird.
A lot of Star Wars is what the influence that George Lucas had was the Flash Gordon serials of the 50s. That's where the opening scroll comes from. The idea of jumping straight into it, and it's telling you what happened in the previous episode.
Yep.
They would do sometimes little cliffhangers and stingers and stuff like that as well at that point, because the point is you want the kids to come back next week. So I kind of feel it fits with the Star Wars universe. I would not
maybe
in movies though.
Please no.
I just
think
the Star Wars cinematic experience isn't that, and
only if it's
because
necessary.
It's in the originals. We never had that for the originals, and I don't think we need it. But I'm kind of okay with these TV shows, especially the connected ones like the Mandoverse.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's been weird. I'm not against it, yet, but it is weird. For sure.
It's weird.
It's weird.
About getting used to, I guess.
So moving on from Kenobi, just a couple of quick things with Mandalorian season 3. One, I guess we should say, last week, Carl Weathers had confirmed that filming wrapped on it. Tweeting that out, something shared via the costume department, and a cool little embroidered logo with the Mando helmet and what looks also like it could be a Grogu, but also a 3. Kind of looks like a little pointed ear, kind of like a stylized out. If I'm doing graphic design, I'm kind of combining the two. You can make Grogu look like a 3, but anyways, it's a cool little thing that they got going on, and along with that, the return of a couple of fan favorite characters from some fan favorite arc / episodes. Tell us about who's returning.
We'll say actress rather than kind of characters. I would.
True.
Favorite characters, but yes.
You don't think everyone enjoyed both of these episodes, and let's
explain first of all. But Misty Rosas, who played, she's an actress who played, and you'll remember both of these parts, but you've never seen her face on screen before because she was always prosthetic up. She played Q-Eel in season 1. Obviously not the voice, guys. and she also played Frog Lady, and I think we don't know of another name for her other than Frog Lady, do we? In season 2, who obviously wasn't a major character, but spent a lot of time with Mando and Grogu. Well, Grogu killed her kids, and stuff like that. Well, Mando was trying to get her to her safe location with her hubby, and she basically confirmed she's back. She, Mandalorian season 3, blah blah blah. She was wearing a cool T-shirt on Instagram. She's back for something in season 3. Obviously, we have no idea who she'll be playing. One would imagine you will not recognise her because it will probably be a similar type of role because it just seems to be her niche. Maybe not. Maybe they've decided to give her a, kind of live action.
If anything,
I don't know.
If anything, the only reason the Frog Lady kind of comes back to mind. And I know that Amy Sedaris' character is likely to be a type of glue that might pop up throughout several of these shows. Not saying that she will or won't be in Mando season 3, because we already saw her in Mando season 3 episode 1.5. But I could see, because the other Mandalorians were on the planet where Frog Lady went to, right? That's where Mando met up with them.
Possibly she could be playing Frog Lady again.
It's a potential if there was someone to come back from. And I'm only
she won't be playing as Creel.
Yeah, he gone. He did. But yeah, but she's most likely going to be someone completely.
That would be if I was
new.
a betting man, that's where I would put my money.
Yeah.
But it could equally just be Frog Lady back.
It's cool to be brought back,
Yeah.
It's cool to
obviously
get to
working with her. She's happy,
carry on.
Cool. She's done a good job. I mean,
it's funny you say don't get to see her.
Considering Frog Lady doesn't speak.
Yeah.
QL was very. And Q was just such a marvelous character, and a lot of that is the physical acting that's going on. So no, she's good,
and I'm certain, much like Prowse, she's probably saying all these lines and stuff on set and whatnot. It's funny when you said no one would recognize her face. I know I could click on the Instagram profile, but the picture you got has the mask on. But yeah. So, Miss Rosa's returning, possibly in my mind, if I were to, only because of the Mandalorian connections, there was Mandalorians there, but they were after that ship, so most likely someone brand new.
So we'll wager $1 on it, right? Okay.
If Frog Lady comes back,
if Frog Lady comes back, I owe you.
That sounds good.
And if it's somebody new, then you owe me $1, but you'll have to transfer it to British money,
to British pounds.
No, you're going to pay about $1.
You want the 82 cents?
We'll just do it for principle. It'll be the principle of the thing.
Oh man, yeah, that's great. I don't really think we have much else to talk about, man. The Acolyte is supposed to start filming in May. We mentioned that already earlier. No need to rehash it. I forgot to write down, as you guys can tell today, my brain is a bit taxed. I forgot to write down most of the second half of the episode's timestamp, so that'll be fun later on tonight. Anyways, guys,
this is the Watchers playing a tiny violin for you.
Yeah, right. One thing I do want to share before we go, and this link will be down in the description box below, a dear and close personal friend of mine, as well as the one of the band members of the background music for our show here, the Cantina. Toby Jones needs a kidney, not money, like an organ, and that's a big deal. It's tall order. We've helped raise money a lot on LRM. I myself found myself in need, and LRM friends and family, readers, and all that helped me. I know an organ's a tall order, but there's some links down here in the article that I wrote up for Toby, as well as his Facebook to get a hold of him, or you can email me, Kyle M at lrmonline.com. I can help get you in touch with him. If you know anyone that's ever mentioned, I could donate an organ, share the link with them. I would appreciate it. I'm really not ready to say goodbye to my friends that we're only in our 30s. Toby's a couple years younger than me. Amazing musician, amazing father, amazing husband, great guy. If you guys can share that, help Toby find a kidney, I'd appreciate it. Other than that, guys, the GenreVerse Podcast Network is wherever you get your podcast from. I got Spotify up on the screen, but Apple, Google, SoundCloud, Stitcher, we're there. Marvel Multiverse Mayhem reviewing Moon Knight, which I'm really enjoying. Cam, you enjoying Moon Knight?
Yeah, so far I've liked it.
Yeah. Breaking Geek Radio, they're in video format on the YouTube channel now. I'm kind of producing the show via OBS and Zoom, so that's a lot of fun. Check it out. Animeverse Reviews will be starting its spring series. We're doing Spy Family or Spy X Family. I have no idea if we say the X in this title. Half the titles in anime you say the X, another half you don't. Anyways, lots of great stuff there. All also available on our YouTube channel, as well as my trailer reviews via the genre shots and ranking the genreverse. I'm working on a Star Wars episode for next week, and guys, hit the red subscribe button for all that and more in the future. All, of course, is available right here, lrmonline.com, as well as our interviews, links to the LRM YouTube channel where all the celebrity interviews are at, stories, news, aggregation, opinions, reviews, leaks, scoops, occasionally from ourselves, all of that there. And we're looking for writers. You can come here. There's an article, I think it's like on page 1 right now, maybe page 2. You can click on it, and right here, passionate about all things geek. Get in touch with Mike. And guys, you're looking to flesh out your portfolio, practice, or just want to get something. You're tired of Kyle's opinion, and you want your opinion on the internet too. Drop us a line. Cam, you got anything you want to throw out?
Just echo what you said. Yeah, so we're always trying to get new people involved that I've got a passion for this stuff, and just like spending their time discussing movies and writing about them and stuff like that. So absolutely let us know if you've got any interest in that. Yep,
niche stuff too. You think we don't cover enough true crime?
Yeah.
Come write true crime for us. We'll let you write true crime stuff for us. No problem. All right, guys. Till next time, may the force be with you.